Hi everyone. So I thought I would make a little video about some of the more subtle points of etiquette. Now, when everybody starts off disc golfing, within the first, I don't know, 30 seconds, you learn pretty quickly not to move when you're within someone's line of sight and not to make any noise while they're throwing. And these are obviously the most important parts of etiquette. But there's some subtleties that aren't discussed a lot that take a little longer to figure out. In fact, there's 5 of them that I can think of off the top of my head that are all important. So the first is, now this is first and foremost, this trumps everything else, is etiquette is very individual. Whatever another player requires as far as etiquette, it's your obligation as a player to comply with it, even if you disagree with the necessity of it. For example, I'm not bothered at all when someone talks to my disc in flight. However, someone else may not want you to say nice shot when their disc is in flight. I know that it doesn't affect the flight of the disc. Everybody knows it, but it doesn't matter. They have the right to not want you to comment on their disc. If that's what they feel, you have to agree with that. You might not be bothered by players in your line of sight who are not moving while you're putting. Someone else may want you to stand behind them out of their line of sight. Again, perfectly reasonable. It's up to them to dictate what they want, and as another player, you need to agree with what they're asking. Now, when you begin the round, part of your job is actually to sum up all the different players on your card and individualize your etiquette for every single player on the card. It sounds complicated, but it's not. If a player throws a shot and then immediately walks down the right side of the fairway each time, they're telling you they don't want to be engaged in chit-chat during the round. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Chit-chat with the player who doesn't mind chit-chatting. Leave the other player alone. That's the first thing. The second thing is, from the time that the previous player throws, I believe you should not engage the player whose turn it is next in conversation or in any way until after they've thrown. So if player A tees off, from the moment they throw their disc, do not talk to player B until they've thrown their shot. So if player B is walking up to the tee pad and you think of a great comeback one-liner that they from earlier, then don't share it. Share it afterwards. When they're walking up to the tee pad, that's their time to focus and get ready for the shot. They should be able to prepare for that without interruption. Again, this is trumped by rule A, if someone doesn't mind and they're a buddy, who cares, right? But as a general rule, when it's someone's turn to throw, stay out of their way and allow them the preparation time, not just when they get up to the line. That's also important. Number 3, remember that there's other players playing who are not in your group that are on the course as well. So in other words, just because you miss a putt and no one's lining up to throw their putt, don't slap your hands together because you're angry. There could be a group on the next card. You would be distracting them by clapping your hands. So be aware there's players on the course other than your hole. Number 4, don't discuss score with other players. Again, trumped by rule A. A lot of players don't mind that, but a lot of players don't want to think about their score. They don't want to know your score. Leave score out of the conversation and just default to not talking about score during the round, and you can't really go wrong. And the 5th thing is, don't talk about things that might be affecting a player's throw before they throw. Don't talk about, I don't want to go right and land OB. I don't want to, oh boy, I hope don't hit that tree on the left. I hope I don't. Don't do anything or say anything that's going to put ideas into a player's head when he's trying to clear his head of those things to throw. Again, these are all just general rules, and there's a lot more than this, but these are just a couple I've thought of on the top of my head I thought I would share. That's all.